Which cryptocurrency is being attacked by the SEC after XRP? How long will crypto holders believe in Ripple? How much will XRP cost in mid-2020? 3. We will answer all these questions in today's Judge Annalisa Torres has been asked by many members of the XRP community on Twitter why she has not yet issued a judgment in the case between Ripple and the SEC. Many Ripple and XRP supporters anticipated the judge's verdict to arrive before the end of last month, as had been predicted by pro-XRP lawyer James Fallon. Nevertheless, this did not occur, prompting speculation regarding the reason for the holdup. A video clip featuring CryptoLaw CEO and attorney John Deaton answering questions from the XRP community has gone viral. In it, Deaton explains why the case's summary judgment has been delayed by Judge Torres. Attorney Deaton claims that Judge Torres is being patient because she knows how important this case is and wants to make sure she makes the proper decision. He speculated that the strain Judge Torres has been under during the Ripple litigation, particularly from the blockchain business, is unprecedented in her whole career. I really doubt that Judge Torres has ever been under as much stress as she is right now. Judge, this is a message Ripple. Sent Deaton was cited as stating, look at what the judge said in Voyager. Look at what the Supreme Court ruled on fair notice. Look at what the SEC has done. Look at Binance. Look at the Keftit. He said these events are occurring at a time when he and others have said the crypto business in the U.S. would get regulatory certainty as a result of her ruling in the case. He reaffirmed that the pending litigation between Ripple and the SEC is the most important non-fraud SEC enforcement action since 1946, when the Hawaii case was decided. Deaton noted that he does not hold Judge Torres responsible for the rate at which she makes her judgment. According to Deaton, Judge Torres is under a lot of pressure because if she rules against Ripple, the blockchain business would appeal to a higher court. He also said the judge would have to provide an explanation for her decision to rule in favor of Ripple on summary judgment. He said, with that type of pressure, I don't blame Judge Torres for being extremely cautious on how she works on this judgment, because if it goes against Ripple, she knows it's going up to a conservative court. And if it is for Ripple, she has to defend it. Moreover, attorney Deaton advised the XRP community to be patient as the verdict is not as simple as many believe it to be. Deaton's latest comment follows a few days in which he speculated that Judge Torres may take up to 2 months to decide on the complaint. Judge Torres' summary judgment often occurs a few months after she has decided on the Dobert motions, according to Deaton, who represents thousands of XRP holders in the lawsuit as a Miss Curia. Friend of the court, Deaton based his March 31 statement on this information, saying the decision may take up to 60 days. Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple Labs, has spoken out against the chairman of the United States. Gary Gensler of the SEC has been criticized for defining some crypto tokens as securities. Thursday, Garlinghouse tweeted, "It's incomprehensible that the chair of the SEC would claim that he, and not the statute from which his agency draws its jurisdiction, determines what constitutes a security. Politicians in the United States need to take this seriously. Why would you ever want to offer clarity about what's in or out when you act like an authoritarian overseeing a $2.02 be bloated agency?" Garlinghouse warned against assuming authority from gray areas of responsibility. In response to Gensler's assertion that existing securities laws cover most of the activity that's happening in the crypto markets, Ripple's executive said not to undermine inadvertently through definitions of what's in or out, or in essence allowing for conflicts that we don't allow. Gensler is the head of the Securities and Exchange Commission. Several of the proposed legislative vehicles, if enacted, would weaken the securities mandate, in my opinion. Since December 2020, when the SEC first sued Ripple, Garlinghouse and co-founder Chris Larson, the business has been in the middle of a legal battle with the securities regulator. Ripple and Garlinghouse have maintained their stance that XRP is not a security, despite the SEC's claims to the contrary. The necessity of Bitcoin exchanges and lending platforms coming in to discuss SEC compliance is something Gensler has brought up on several times. But Garlinghouse has claimed that the securities regulator is just meeting with cryptocurrency firms to gather information for its enforcement division. Companies operating in the cryptocurrency area have voiced concerns that it is difficult to assure compliance since the SEC does not give clear regulatory requirements. The SEC recently issued a Wells notice to Coinbase, a cryptocurrency exchange listed on the Nasdaq, alleging possible breaches of the securities law. The SEC will not allow crypto firms come in and register. "We tried," the firm said in response. Nevertheless, Gensler has maintained that all crypto tokens other than Bitcoin are securities. The lawsuit between Ripple and the SEC has amped up anticipation for a resolution. Pro-XRP attorney James K. Fallon had predicted that Judge Annalisa Torres' ruling would be issued before the end of March, and this was relied upon by some members of the XRP community. XRP holders started to watch in bewilderment as his prognostication did not come true. As many XRP backers have been left wondering why Judge Torres didn't rule yesterday as expected, CryptoLaw founder attorney John Deaton has identified the few people who may have inside information as to when the ruling will be issued. Deaton claims that only Judge Torres' staff and the court clerk would know when a decision in Ripple V's SEC will be made. According to Deaton, only her staff and any clerks who helped her with research or helped the decision will know before the judge publicly issues her ruling. His most recent claim is a rebuttal to XRP supporters' assumption that Ripple and SEC officials will be aware of the date. It's worth noting that Deaton's remark follows just a few hours after he said it could be up to 60 days before Judge Torres issues a ruling. Specifically, many XRP supporters were let down when Judge Torres did not issue a ruling on March 30. One is predicted by Fallon. In response to a question, Deaton explained that the deadline for Judge Torres to issue a summary judgment was not yesterday. He said the judge's decision could come as soon as this hour or as late as 2 months from now. Deaton stated that based on Judge Torres's past cases, summary judgment is typically issued by the court a few months after Daubert's motions have been decided. Deaton is actively involved in the lawsuit as an amicus curiae representing the XRP community, friend of the court. In his role as amicus curiae, Deaton is rooting for Judge Torres to rule in favor of XRP investors by determining that secondary market trades of the cryptocurrency do not constitute a security. Yesterday, Deaton discussed 4 potential positive outcomes from the lawsuit that could benefit XRP holders. Deaton hypothesizes that in any of the 4 possible outcomes, Judge Torres will rule that XRP secondary market transactions do not constitute securities. But Deaton said he would try to get the judge to clarify the crypto asset. Just like he did with the Bribe case, if Judge Torres grants a summary judgment in SEC's favor and fails to comment on XRP,